In this video, we're taking a look at last week's Hot 10 from Key Collector Comics and discussing the future potential of these books. Stay tuned.
Bry's Comics.
We got a giveaway on deck. This month, we're giving away a copy of Moon Knight #1 CGC 8.0 White Pages Newsstand Edition. I hope you guys are enjoying this show as much as I am. And all you have to do to enter to win this is subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video. And if you sign up for the newsletter at brycecomics.com, this month we're giving away Fantastic Four #21 in a CGC 3.5, first appearance of the Hate Monger, Silver Age Fantastic Four key. And all you have to do to enter to win is sign up for the newsletter at brycecomics.com. So I really enjoy doing these videos because I think it helps me become a better investor, a better speculator, and I think it is helpful to others as well to become better collectors in this hobby and help us to have this hobby fund itself, because it's important not only to stay up to date on what is currently hot and trending, but the trends that repeat themselves for the hot and trending books so that you can stay one step ahead of that and make future purchases that are a little bit more informed and a little bit more lucrative. If that's something that interests you, if you'd like to have this hobby fund itself, or you already do and you're just along for the ride, that's what this channel is all about. It's comic book investment and speculation with tips on how to have this hobby fund itself. And today's video in particular is a good example of how sometimes when things hit the hot list, you need to dig a little bit deeper into the data. There's so much data and information coming at us from so many different angles, including channels like this, that it's important to think critically and to be able to evaluate and interpret the data rather than just accepting it at face value. And to see what I'm talking about, let's jump into the computer. So here we are on keycollector.com, and we are looking at the Hot 10 for last week. Number 10 on the list was Amazing Spider-Man #121, the death of Gwen Stacy when her neck was unintentionally snapped as Spider-Man attempted to rescue her. And it says right here on the cover, turning point, and that's exactly what this book was. It was a turning point for Marvel, a different direction in their storytelling, taking their storytelling to a whole different level and bringing in, a whole different set of fans, and really just genuinely a turning point for the franchise. And it's awesome to see this book on the list. We're seeing, steady increases across different grades, nothing huge, but just increases in sales, which speaks to the strength of the Amazing Spider-Man series. This is an event book. It's the death of Gwen Stacy. It's not a first appearance book. And even the event books in Amazing Spider-Man run are breaking records on a consistent basis. Absolutely, pretty much all ASM key issues are good investments. Marvel Spotlight #28, and this is the price variant. As you can see here, it says 30 cents up in the corner, and this was something that Marvel did during this time frame across a bunch of different titles to test the waters to see what would happen if they increased the price from 25 cents to 30 cents, which is just so funny to me. They were so hesitant and systematic about how they were going to increase it by 5 cents, and here we are almost 50 years later, and a 9.8 sold for $4,100. Definitely worth the extra 5 cents, in my opinion. And it's really awesome to see this book hit the list, that the Moon Knight show is released, and it is fantastic. I'm absolutely enjoying this series. I'm anxiously awaiting each new episode. So I do believe that we are past the speculation phase for Moon Knight keys. It's arguable that we have been, for a while. I don't think you should be buying this book to, flip. I think that if you're buying Moon Knight keys at this point, it's for the personal collection because you love the character, you love the show. It's not that it's going to be the end of Moon Knight, but inevitably this show will run its course. The hype will die down, and the prices will come back down. It's not the end of Moon Knight. Like I said, we'll probably get him in a bunch of other Marvel projects, but I don't think any Moon Knight keys are good for investment purposes. They're fantastic books to add to your personal collection if you love the character, and over time, yes, they'll go up in value. So if your focus is collecting what you love, by all means, fantastic books, but if your focus is speculation and investment, I would steer clear of Moon Knight keys at this point. Tales to Astonish 44, and this is the first appearance and origin of the Wasp, and we have record-breaking sales in multiple grades. It's funny because I was considering this book. I was looking at it. I've been tracking it for the past couple months because I picked up the first appearance of Hank Pym in Tales to Astonish 27, and I was looking like, do I want to get all the Tales to Astonish keys surrounding Ant-Man, and I'm a huge fan of the Wasp, but I can't get past this cover. I don't care for this cover, this Kirby monster thing here. I wouldn't enjoy looking at it on my wall every day, so I decided to pass on this book. But I think there's a ton of potential for the character of the Wasp. Obviously, she's not going anywhere. I think it's a good long-term investment. Obviously not like a quick flip or anything like that, but a fantastic key to own. Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1, and here we're talking about the newsstand edition, which is indicated here on the barcode. It says newsstand edition right here, the regular edition, and it also says Marvel Knights right here. The regular edition is just a bigger barcode, and it doesn't say Marvel Knights. I don't know why they say Marvel Knights. It's so weird on these newsstand editions. It'll just say completely random stuff, like it might say Amazing Spider-Man, and it's not even an Amazing Spider-Man book. So it's not an error, it's just how they did it. And so we have some record-breaking sales. An 8.5 sold for $600, up from $220, and 8.0 sold for $725. I sold my 9.6 newsstand for $4,000. And we also have another data point here. This is for a completely different book. This is the 1 in 30 variant of this book. A 9.8 sold for $4,000. This is from 2011. Marvel stopped doing newsstands in 2013. So this is almost as rare as you can get for a Marvel newsstand. 2013 is as rare as you can get for a Marvel newsstand. This book is just a beast. It's just, I would estimate that there's no more than 5 9.8s of this book on in existence, and anytime one of those comes up for sale, it's going to crush records. It's going to be, I can only imagine what a 9.8 is going to go for. It's going to cause trickle down for all the other grades of the newsstand editions, not to mention Ultimate Fallout 4 newsstand edition, which, talking to different people within the industry, I think there's only about 3 Ultimate Fallout 4 newsstand 9.8s and only about 5 of this book in 9.8. So ultra rare. They will be coming to market eventually. They will break records, and it's going to shake things up. Doctor Strange #1, and this is the first solo titled series officially. So, collectors love a #1, and they love the character, his name and title and character on title, and for good reason. It's just awesome to have. It's awesome to look at. But we're going to see the other first solo title later on in this list. And it's awesome to see this book continuing to break records. I think we are, for Doctor Strange keys, I think we are in the same boat as Moon Knight. I think we're approaching that peak where things will probably sustain and level off and then eventually come back down after the movie. We had the trailer already dropped during Super Bowl Sunday. It was like the biggest Marvel trailer in history, the most potential hype possible for a spec book, and that came and went. So it's only logical to think that we're either approaching at or starting to level off for these. Now, it's not the end of Doctor Strange. Same for Moon Knight. Some people even argue that Doctor Strange is going to be the new anchor for the MCU, and they very well could be right. I'm just saying that I think if you're buying Doctor Strange keys at this point, it should be for the personal collection because you love the character, not for speculation purposes. I think that there are other keys with more immediate potential. Not to say that this doesn't have long-term potential. It's Doctor Strange. I'm sure 20 years from now, this would be a fantastic buy even at today's prices. But, it just depends on your angle and the way that you're collecting or investing. Nova #1, #5 on the list, the first appearance and origin of Nova and Richard Rider. It's also the first appearance of Roman Day, Corpsman of the Nova Corps, and the first appearance of Robbie Rider, brother of Nova. And the important thing to mention here is that in January of 2021, the MCU maintains their intention to use Nova, both Alexander and Rider, in a film. That's from Kevin Feige. But the more recent update is in March that Deadline reports a source confirms a Nova project is in development. And if you go and read that article from Deadline, it appears that it's a Richard Rider type film. I'm hoping, and the MCU still maintains their intention to use both. An interesting thing to consider about Nova. First of all, I think this is a good investment. I think we're on the early stages of this. I think there's a ton of potential still for Nova. We still have, castings, official announcements, more details about the movies, actual trailer, show coming out, all of that still yet to come. So I think this is a good investment. And a really interesting thing to consider with this is, where is this film going to go? How is it going to play out? What other keys are going to see a spike because of this? Because right now with this article, it is just this one key that is seeing a spike, right? Because there's so little details. And so I'd like to know from you guys, what kind of film do you think they're going to do for Nova? What kind of keys do you think associated with him are going to see increases in value? Or just what type of Nova movie would you like to see? Leave a note down below in the comments. Marvel Premiere number 28, and this is the first team appearance and origin of the Legion of Monsters and Ghost Rider, Man-Thing, Morbius, and Werewolf by Night. And this book is on a real tear. Look at this cover, absolutely incredible cover. We've got Morbius, we've got Werewolf by Night, we've got Ghost Rider, we've got Man-Thing. I mean, all of these characters are heating up. So it makes sense that this book would heat up and that there would be a lot of speculation around this book. We see these increases in different grades here: a 9.2 up 8%, 8.5 up 50, and 8.0 up 9. And this is the second consecutive week that this book has been on the Hot 10, and it's been 3 weeks on the list in July. So obviously there's a lot of fanfare and a lot of spec behind this. Now, one thing, this sale didn't make it onto the list. We have a 9.8 that sold for $10,000. And if you go and look at the census, that is about a 5x increase. Well, exactly a 5x increase from the record-breaking sale of just October of last year. So this should be a major red flag for people. I just cannot fathom how this is a legitimate sale. A 5x increase from $2,000 to $10,000. I mean, how could somebody really make the decision to spend $10,000 on a book when the last sale was $2,000? I mean, obviously at that point, you're not expecting to have any kind of return on investment, because for it to go up even higher than that, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. You don't really need to, pick this apart and psychoanalyze it. It just doesn't seem legit. And when you look on the census, there's 21 9.8s. This copy that sold isn't even like a pristine copy by any means. It has, a slight miswrap, as you can see there. It looks like a little bit of soiling there on the cover. It's a little bit wavy, as you can see. I mean, there are different levels to 9.8s. I'm not arguing that this isn't a 9.8. Here you can see the miswrap coming through on the backside. I'm just saying that, sometimes a 9.8 will garner a premium over another 9.8 because of presentation, and this certainly isn't one that presents super well for a 9.8. So it just seems suspect. It seems fishy, and I wouldn't make any decisions about this book based off of that sale. It is totally possible that a collector just really wanted this and this was the only copy available and he bought it. That's possible. It's within the realm of possibilities. But also it says or best offer, and they didn't make a best offer. They paid full price, and even in the listing it said make me an offer. Like the guy was like willing to accept an offer. So who knows what happened there, but it certainly seems a little fishy. Speaking of fishy, we have Fantastic Four number 2, which is the first team appearance of the Skrulls, the shape-shifting alien race, and the second team appearance of the Fantastic Four. Absolutely incredible book. I absolutely love this cover. I love the yellow. I love that the Fantastic Four still don't have costumes. I love how rare it is. I love everything about this book. It's the first appearance of the Skrulls, which are already in the MCU, but they're not done in the MCU. There's going to be more projects in the MCU that is going to draw attention to the keys associated with the Skrulls. So I think it's a fantastic spec. However, this sale does not seem legitimate. A 6.0 sold for $12,000, up 111%. I just bought a 7.0 for $5,200, 6 or 8 months ago, I think it was. So when I saw this 6.0 sold for $12,000, I was like, there's no way that's legit. But here's the sale, and it happened on eBay. It was $12,100. It was an auction, and it was this guy right here who has some negative feedback. Anytime that there is less than 100% positive feedback, it's cause for concern. It doesn't necessarily mean that the seller isn't legit. It just means that it's cause for concern. And when you couple that with the fact that it went for $12,000 and it was $50 shipping from outside the US, it was from Spain, which I'm not even sure if eBay does global shipping program for Spain. So there's a potential that you would have a whole bunch of problems with customs and importing and custom duties. And the kicker is that on the same platform, there's another copy, a higher grade, for almost half the price. So sometimes you see this happen at auction houses where a book will sell for like 10 grand and there's a copy sitting on eBay for 6 grand. And that actually can be understandable and justifiable because a lot of people only buy books from auction houses. They don't want to deal with the shenanigans that go on eBay. And I understand that. But this is the same platform, the same book, higher grade, almost half the price, free shipping from the United States. So this just has to be an illegitimate sale. But these other sales are legit. A 2.5 up 12%, a 5.5 up 20%. I think this book is undervalued. I think it has a ton of potential in the future because of both the Fantastic Four and the Skrulls. So I think it's a great investment. I think it's a great spec. I just don't think you should make any decisions based off of this data point. Voltron #1. This book is seeing some crazy heat right now because a live action film is in the works, and there's a bidding war right now between Warner Brothers, Universal, and Amazon among the 6 or 7 studios that are in the mix for the package for the movie. Netflix is not in the running, sources say, and they should wrap up this bid to secure this property this weekend. So a lot of fans are super excited about this. I, for one, can't wait to see it. And we still have, a lot of room to grow for this book. However, it is super hot right now, and anytime something is, red hot, you may want to, wait a little bit till it cools off. This is just, in the early stages. It's going to be a long time till we see this come onto the screen. So there's definitely going to be better buying opportunities than right now. Doctor Strange #169, #1 on the list. And this is the first solo title Doctor Strange issue because it says Doctor Strange here. But previous to this, it was titled Strange Tales. So of the 2 books, I would definitely pick this over the Doctor Strange #1. For one, it has a better cover. And basically that's the main reason. I mean, it just has such a better cover, and that goes the farthest for me in adding a book to the collection is, what are you going to look at as you own this awesome collectible? So it's also the origin of Doctor Strange retold, the first appearance of Charles Benton, who later becomes Asmodeus. So I think that, the same thing for this book. I think we're past the speculation phase. I think if you're buying this book at this point, it's to add it to your personal collection, and what a great book to add to your personal collection. So there you have it, guys. Another awesome list this week, another awesome set of comics. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video for your chance to win Moon Knight #1, and head over to BryceComics.com and you're entered to win a Fantastic Four #21, the first appearance of the Hate Monger. All you have to do is sign up for that newsletter, and every month you stay subscribed, you're entered to win. As always, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bryce Comics.